Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, my dear kings and queens, ladies and gentlemen, brothers and sisters in the continent, and to those who are in the diaspora. I'm very honored to invite you and welcome you at this moment where we are going to share our thoughts, ideas on how we can create wealth. Our topic of today is wealth creation. In the continent of Africa, all of us we are familiar that Africa is the richest continent in terms of resources, but is the poorest continent. Why? Because we are not investing in our natural resources. We are not creating wealth. But you see other continents, other nations, those who don't have resources like Africa, they have created wealth. You know, kings and queens, Africa, we have received aid, we have received grants, loans, but we are still poor and we will continue to be poor because we are not investing. So if we want to move forward, we need to invest in our resources. Africa is a continent that is so blessed with everything, but we lack investment. And this investment can come from us, not from others. For many years, we have been thinking that maybe investors from outside of the continent will make Africa rich and will make Africans move from poverty. But unfortunately, those who are coming, they're coming for doing their business for their own interest. They are not interested to remove Africans from poverty. So what we need to do right now is we, the people of Africa, with our leadership and collaborating with our brothers and sisters in the diaspora to start investing in our resources. We have cocoa, we need to invest in our cocoa. We have minerals, we need to invest in our minerals. We have timber, we need to invest in our timbers. We have everything. We have water, we need to invest in our water, irrigation systems, agriculture. So through that, we can create wealth. Without doing so, my dear kings and queens, we are going nowhere. As you see, today, Africa, we have been fed by others. Africa, we have been sponsored by even small companies. We have seen some angels being sponsoring us, the continent of Africa. Why? Because we are not creating wealth. We are receiving only money. We have only money, but money itself is not enough. We need to invest this money. We need to invest in order to create jobs. We need to invest in order to create circulations of money, and so that our people can have tasks to do. And that is what we need to do. Today you see Africans being learning away from this continent. They are learning from the continent that has all resources and going to the continent where there's nothing, and what they end up is to become houseboys, house girls, housekeepers, garden keepers. So that must come to an end. Let us do what is good and right for our continent, and to do so we need to invest. We need to invest in our beautiful continent. Africa, we have money. Look how much we spend in buying these luxury cars. We bought luxury cars for political figures, for government. We bought things that is not relevant to our needs. So we need to change. We need leaderships that will see the importance of investing to the continent of Africa. So this tendency of thinking that by attracting only Chinese, attracting Europeans, attracting Americans to come and investing will create jobs for our young men and women is not enough. Let us allow Africans to create jobs themselves. If we think someone, Chinese, European, or American, will come and hire all these young men and women in the continent, we are praying with the fire. That will not come true, because we are so many in the continent, and what we need is to allow ourselves to create jobs. And what is the meaning of wealth creation? And that's why you see the Europeans, Americans have succeeded to do so. They have created industries, companies in different sectors, and by doing so, they have succeeded to hire their fellows, their children, and other people. And sometimes we Africans, we go there to work to their companies. So we need those idea to be implemented here in the continent of Africa. Of course, we have the challenges in education. Of course, that's why we are talking about investment. We need to invest in our education. We need to invest in technologies. But what we lack is focus. You know, sometimes when you see Chinese are going to the moon, even Africans want to go to the moon, but we don't know how the Chinese have succeeded. When you see the Americans have succeeded to create or to manufacture some machineries, even we want to go faster in manufacturing those machineries, it is not possible. Let us sit down, put a strategy, put a plans, and starting to work from one strategy to another. And you know why Africans we are not achieving is the divisions. We have good men and women in this continent. We have good technicians, technologists. We have good genius in this continent. But the problem that we have, we are not working together. And those who have opportunities to go abroad to acquire knowledges, to acquire skills, when they come back, they go to politics. I'm not saying that politics is bad, no. Politics is good, but when they acquire knowledge, after finishing maybe their study, their researches, they come to Africa and become politicians. After that, they are not going to distribute those knowledge, to share those knowledge. What they are going to do to stay on the office and sometimes being used by politicians instead of coming and induce those knowledge to the young people, to the people of Africa, so that all of us we can share those knowledge. So that's why when they die or he die or she die, everything went off. So we need to change the narratives. We need to say enough is enough. When you have acquired knowledge, please come back and share with your fellow brothers and sisters in the continent. Those who are in the diaspora, we must understand Africa is our home. Despite it is poor, it is bad, but Africa is our home. What we need to do is to invest in our beautiful continent, Africa. You see the Chinese are investing, they are making money. You see the Indians are here, they are making money. You see Russians are here, they are making money. They have Wagner here, they have mercenaries here. Americans have mercenaries here. Europeans have mercenaries here. So they're making money. They're not here to make us happy. They're not here for pleasure. They're here to make money. They're here to make business. And that is what Africans we need to do. But when you see Africans going to Europe, we go there to enjoy. We go there to for leisure. But when you see Chinese here, they are coming here to discover something. They are coming here to see opportunities. But Africans, when we go to others, we are not going there to find opportunities. That's why it's difficult to see Africans investing in Europe, Africans investing in America. Have you seen Africans who are living in Africa investing in America, investing in Europe, investing in China, in Russia? Why? But you see the Chinese investing in Africa. You see the Europeans investing in Africa. You see the Americans investing in Africa. Why? It is because they have seen opportunities. And when they come here to seek opportunities. But when we, the people of Africa, we go out, we go for leisure, we are going there to enjoy, to spend, instead of seeking opportunities. You see, and what is so bad, and when we go there, we are going to find investors to come to invest in our resources. Have you seen the Americans, Chinese, Russians, or Japanese coming to Africa to seek investors who are going to invest in their resources? Why? Why Africans we allow that to happen? Our mind has been conquered to think outsiders are the ones who are responsible for our developments. Our mind think that those who are different from us are the ones who will bring changes to our mother continent Africa. So that's why we are still poor. That's why we are struggling. That's why we are going nowhere till today. Yes, there's some changes, but if you compare what we have and these changes, it is irrelevant. So we need to do things to change things on the ground. We need to invest in our resources. If Africa, we are serious in investing in our resources, I'm telling you, 20 years or 25 years to come, Africa will be in other position. But because we have not decided to invest in our resources, we have given these resources to others by saying these are investors, they have technologies, they know everything, they can do this and this. That's why we are here. And we'll continue to lament, we'll continue to suffer because we are not investing in our resources. Let us take the example of Japan. Have privilege to visit Japan almost 7 years ago. I've discovered many things. Japan has no natural resources like Africa. Japan has no mines like Africa, but Japan is one of the developed country, industrialized country in this world. Why? Because they have using their money to invest and creating wealth, and that is what we want to share here. So I would like also to hear from you. What is your opinion? How we can create wealth in the continent of Africa? So let us start by looking on the map of Africa. If you look on the map of Africa, you discover that Africa, we have a lot of natural resources. If you go to the Horn of Africa, you discover that we have natural resources. If you go to the West Africa, you find we have cocoa beans. If you go to East Africa, the countries such as Tanzania, you find Tanzanite that is only found in Tanzania. If you go to the countries such as Mozambique, you find oil. If you go to Ghana, also you find gold. If you go to Niger, you find uranium. If you go to Mali, you find cotton. If you go to Mauritania, you find iron ore. So through this map, we can see how we can create wealth. As I said, if you look other countries in the other continent, they have chosen their identity. For instance, as I said, Japan is famous for technologies, especially in car manufacturing. The same to Germany. But look in the continent of Africa. Africa, we don't have big company for car manufacturing. But if one of our country in the continent of Africa can be the main producer of cars, and already we have seen Uganda started manufacturing their own car, Kihila. If all of us, the people of Africa, and through leadership and the people in the diaspora, we can support Uganda and make Uganda one of the many producer of cars that will be supplied in the continent, we can make wealth. Okay, Uganda has succeeded to have this investment. They are going to create wealth. But we have crude oil in Congo. You see, if we can invest in crude oil in Congo, it means we can use refined or this petroleum to power our cars that are manufactured in Uganda. Of course, Uganda is manufactured electric buses and electric cars, and also they can manufacture also these petroleum engine and diesel engine. If we are serious, we want to do so. You see, we can create wealth in such a way. So in Uganda, we can have um, industries for car manufacturing. In other places like Nigeria or Angola or Arabia, as you see, the place where there's oil, we can invest for making sure that we produce um, oil to power machinery and the plants in the continent of Africa. Go to Mali, for instance, you'll see in this map, Mali is famous for cotton. And not only Mali, Mali, Burkina Faso, all those countries are famous for producing cotton. So if we can have big textile industry in Mali or in Burkina Faso, it means we are going to have wealth creation. We are going to create wealth through textile industry. First of all, we are going to create jobs for our farmers, main producers or farmers of cotton. We are going to create jobs for our industries, big industries. So Mali, Niger, Mali and Burkina Faso can be the hub of textile industry that can produce clothes for the entire continent. Through that, we can create wealth and we can create jobs, and also we can make a lot of money. Instead of going out and importing second-hand clothes, you see, why African we wear second-hand clothes? That's the question that we need to ask. So go to Mauritania, where you see there's iron ore. We can create, of course, you see nowadays African countries have started to build these infrastructure such as railways, big bridges, so stadiums, but we have iron ore in Mauritania. So we can use iron ore from Mauritania to build railway, high-speed railway from Cape to Cairo. You see, so Mauritania can be the main producer of iron for the entire continent. Through that, we can create jobs, we can create wealth. Each country can have her responsibility. You see, tea, grain, and coffee in Kenya, Ethiopia, Uganda, and also Tanzania and Madagascar. So we can make those areas famous for producing enough food, because those areas are enough to produce food for the entire continent. So not only that, even in Congo has horrible land. We can invest maybe in Democratic Republic of Congo to produce enough food for the entire continent, or we can make the East Africa the main producers of food. When I'm talking about food, I'm talking about maize, grain, coffee, as you see, something like that. So we can create industries in that area for production of coffee, grain, rice, tea. So we can make money, and our people, our farmers can create wealth. So let us move to Niger. Niger has uranium. So through uranium, we can invest in manufacturing or producing electricity by using uranium. And also, we can create our own weapons through these resources. So these big countries, those who have so powerful, they use our uranium to become strong and powerful. So even we Africans, we can decide to come together and use our uranium from Niger, so we can have a big industry or big company to produce electricity through uranium in Niger. You see, that can power the entire continent. Also, we have opportunities of hydroelectric power. in Democratic Republic of Congo in the Inga Dam. So we can invest in Inga Dam in Democratic Republic of Congo and create a lot of money. So we can supply electricity for the entire continent and make a lot of money. Through that, we can create jobs, and that is what I'm talking about, wealth creation. Another issue, if you see copper, yes, we have copper in Zambia. Instead of exporting our copper, we can build big industry in Zambia, and Zambia can be the main producers of uh, copper in the continent of Africa and the entire world, so that we can create jobs and make money. You see, instead of exporting these low copper minerals or unprocessed copper, we can produce copper wire here in the continent of Africa in Zambia instead of exporting. And also, issue of fishing, we are familiar in Senegal coast. We can have fish. You can produce fishes that can be supplied in the continent of Africa, and also not only in Senegal, also we can have fish in these Great Lakes that can, our fish are being exported to Europe instead of being consumed here in the continent of Africa. But if we are serious, we can invest and making sure that the fish or fishes that are coming from Africa can be supplied to the entire continent. And also South Africa as gold, we know very well, also as diamond. And also one thing that South Africa went far, they have manufacturing jets. So we can make South Africa the main producer of aeroplanes that can supply goods and services in the continent of Africa. And also we have heard about the issue of Mali, Niger to create some weapons industries, ammunition industries. So we can also have industries that can create our own weapons that will be used to protect the continent of Africa. That is what we talk about wealth creation, that we can divide each country into tasks. So each country must have a task to perform and to do for the continent of Africa, and not like today we are. So that is how we are going to create wealth. That's why you see the Europeans have succeeded to do so. So kings and queens, those are just my opinion on how we can create wealth and how we can make money, because we have resources. But you see these things are being taken away by others, but others are the ones who are benefiting from our resources. But if we Africans, we are serious, we want to make money, we want to move forward, we must invest in our resources. So that is my opinion on the issue of wealth creation. So I'd like also to hear from you. What is your opinion? Thank you.